So Clarify is a really nice portal for the customers to explore the data.
We use Clarify to showcase the value that we have from our product.
So let's start with the basics. What is your name and what do you do at Raa Labs?
My name is Katarina and I'm a solution developer in Raalabs, meaning I do software development, software engineer, mostly backend, and I do a lot of integrations with systems.
My name is Siri Bjørkdal Øvregård, and I work as a customer success engineer in Raalabs.
Amazing. And what is the overall problem that Raa Labs is trying to solve?
So Raalabs is in the business of making data from occasionally connected assets, for example, available where they normally would be registered, but not collected and not made available in a wider range.
We collect data from the different systems on board the vessel, and we do a lot of complex customizations on the data before we send them to cloud or to the owner of the data.
So I suppose that a boat out in the middle of the sea, obviously that presents challenges that you may not normally have.
Yes, that's true. So the big vessels that are going over the big seas on the planet, they rely on satellite communication, for example, for long periods on voyages. They don't necessarily have the same connectivity that you and I have while we are onshore or close to shore. And this, of course, brings an extra element of complexity into the problem that we are trying to solve with our solution.
How do you think technology and automation and all those things will change how Raa Labs works over the next 10 years?
Oh, I think the technology that we deliver is going to change the way that the industry kind of behaves. I think the shipping industry is an industry which usually aren't that used to have data available in such a high frequency. So we deliver that high frequency data to the vessel owners and to the industry. And by doing this data available, they will have more high-frequent data to work with, to make decisions and to analyze and optimize.
The maritime industry, of course, you have regulatory units that are kind of the drivers for the whole industry. And of course, when new rules and regulations are put in place for the entire fleet, then an entire industry has to find smart ways to accommodate those requirements that are put in place. And a lot of those requirements these days are related to emissions and fuel consumption, where data to support the decisions being made on these kind of performance-related things I think will be more and more relevant going forward.
Looking a bit more specifically at Clarify, how have you been using Clarify so far?
So as I'm a solution developer, a software engineer, I configure Clarify up towards our clients. So which means I set up the integration part between the raw data that we extract and towards the Clarify portal. So this is a pipeline which comes from our raw data and to how the data is visualized in Clarify.
Is there anything you like about Clarify that's maybe different to other products and solutions?
Yeah. So what I like about Clarify is that there's a lot of flexibility in the solution. When we extract data and time series data and want to showcase them in Clarify, there's a lot of flexibility in how you can build up these signals. You can add labels, you can filter them in some sort of way, and you can add systems and hierarchical labels, and all of that is very important for us when we want to showcase what data actually is.
Do you have any specific examples of maybe where Clarify has been used to assess fuel consumption or maybe even improve, or any specific examples just related to some of these things where improvements might have been made?
Yes, so for example, we have some customers that has battery installed, looking at the data from these batteries and how they impact the way that the vessel is run is not that easy to collect and see. But when we had this data in Clarify, it provided a much better picture for the owners of exactly how the battery is being used and how it's being used in combination with the more traditional propulsion engines that you would have on board as well.
Clarify is both a very nice portal for us to showcase the data, like visualized showcasing the data, but also it's a very nice way for us to give the customer access to the data through the API, for example, or through data sharing between the different owners of the data.